fucking bitches.
I mean, really, I'm out here for the bitches, you know what I'm saying? Like,
getting high,
blowing on it by myself,
and occasionally releasing music whenever the fuck he feels like it are three of the most important things to Playboi Carti, an Atlanta native turned hip hop star. Since becoming a star for his musical talents, however, it seems that he cares less and less about the music and more about the perks that come along with it. Endless pussy, expensive clothes, a lot of weed, and a bankroll to support such a lifestyle. Now don't get me wrong, there is nothing inherently bad about any of those things I just mentioned, and I'm half kidding and half serious when I say it. But if you've been a Carti fan for quite some time like myself, you were probably frustrated at the lack of new music since his rise. Seeing his peers like yadiiiig and Made in Tokyo, who he helped carve a lane for in the SoundCloud scene, take over him, whilst Carti has remained relatively stagnant. Still, Carti has amassed quite the ride and die cult fanbase, who prey on every single word, tweet, or image that comes their way, that cannot wait to defend the supreme wearing, swag dripping, don't give a fuck attitude having savior.
what they talking about, yeah, yeah. For what they talking about, yeah, yeah.
On hip-hop forums and sites like Kanye Tevee and the Hip Hop Head subreddit, there exists a decisive split between his fans and people that think he is undeserving of all this attention, who can't understand what Carti does outside of fucking bitches and getting high.
You done told me to do this, but now that I fucked your bitch, you mad at me? Nigga, you taught me how to do this shit.
That is the reason behind this video, to explore the curious case of Playboi Carti. What? Yeah, the curious case of Playboi Carti. What? Yeah, you dig? After linking with the folks at Awful Records in 2014, Carti began to make a name for himself in the local Atlanta scene. During this period came some of Carti's most praised work, such as Lost, which is a standout Carti track produced by Awful's own Ethereal. However, his rise really came to a head in 2015, with hits Broke Boy, and Fetty, becoming bangers on the national level and helped push Carti to the forefront of this SoundCloud rap scene. Interestingly enough, Broke Boy was the first real SoundCloud hit of its time, and Carti was perceived as a frontrunner of this underground Atlanta scene. Back when he linked with Yachty for Run It, it was kind of viewed as Carti put it on Yachty in a sense, co-signing and helping this young, relatively unknown artist. However, since then, Carti's career moves, or rather lack thereof, have led to him being overtaken by his peers, being left in the underground world as the likes of yadiiiig and Made in Tokyo have made their transition from topping the SoundCloud charts to topping the Billboard charts, from millions of SoundCloud plays to millions of singles sold. Despite these huge variations in commercial success, everywhere you look online you will find Carti stands defending their savior to the death, worshipping and standing Carti as if he is some godlike figure whose superstardom is inevitable, but for the moment just on hold. But what has Carti done differently? Let's take a look and see if we can notice any differences. One thing that is reinforced by the music industry is that in the era of small attention spans and social media, artists must not only consistently release music, but constantly interact with fans, helping to ensure they stay connected, engaged, and that they don't get swept away in the sea of constant new music that gets released daily. Then you have Carti, whose approach is basically the polar opposite, essentially saying, fuck that, yeah, cash Carti, as the opposite star of his fans to create this rockstar I don't give a fuck perception of himself. But how has Carti created this perception? There are a few key differences in how he has chosen to handle himself and his public relations. It is this handling of himself that has led to this image. Let's have a look at a few of those differences. Firstly, it's his online social media presence. Unlike his other new school counterparts, he rarely posts on Twitter, Instagram, or any social media, opting to keep his social media presence to a minimum. Let's compare these numbers. On Instagram, Uzi at the time of recording has 311 posts, Yachty has 399, and Carti weighs in at only 33. On Twitter, Uzi has 14.4k tweets, Yachty has 50.1k tweets, and Carti comes in at 7,771. Those are huge differences and really shows how Carti has deliberately chosen to keep his online social media presence to a minimum. Secondly, he is yet to release an official project at all.
This is just getting started, bro. I have no mixtape out, bro. Ask Castro. No mixtape out. These tracks niggas be releasing. Niggas gonna be releasing my old shit when I'm 14 freestyling. I just be chilling, bro. I haven't released a song since then. I don't do shit, bro.
Compared to yadiiiig and Tokyo, who have all released multiple projects in 2016 alone, and it is baffling how Carti has been out for this long and is still yet to release a project, but still maintains his buzz and his core fanbase.
I don't do shit, bro. All I do is visionary.
Lastly, he has opted to shy away from doing massive interview runs and media for magazines and blogs. There are a few video and text interviews scattered, but no huge press runs or video content like we have seen from the likes of Yachty, 21 and Made in Tokyo. In the new age of social media, where the trend is for artists to be completely accessible at all times and release music often to keep our short attention spans engaged, Carti ditches these conventions and opts to keep his fans starving and suffocating for breath as they anticipate any post, tweet or hint of new music from Carti. Carti himself hasn't released a song in over a year.
I don't do shit, bro.
Leaving his fans to eat off cozy tape releases, random guest verses and leaks. And while this weight rises, so does the desperation from his fans. Take for example this video. It is a mix of 5 different snippets where the creator has tried to piece together songs from the videos. I don't think I've ever seen fans this desperate and needy for new music. This video has reached over 100,000 views and shows the desperation from Carti fans. And that's not even the half of it. For example, there are several YouTube accounts that get hundreds of thousands of views combined, solely dedicated to Carti related snippets and videos. On top of this, there is an Instagram fan page, Vlone Carti, that has reached over 60,000 followers. Perhaps more importantly, however, he is signed to Interscope and the ASAP Mob, he's toured around the US multiple times, and he's worked with the likes of Rocky, Big Sean,
shout out to my young nigga, what up, bro? What up, Carti? You in this bitch?
Gucci,
I got an AK, peeping at the people.
and not to mention Frank fucking Ocean. Artists who have released multiple projects and been out for years would love to have done that, but when it comes to Carti, he gets all these opportunities, all without a single fucking project. Why does this work so well for Carti though? Compare this to Fetty Wap, who after laying low for a minute recently popped up with a new tape. However, this tape was a complete flop compared to his other material. I saw next to nothing on Kanye Tevee about it, very little on hip hop heads, and not a lot on the internet as a whole. Why? When Fetty returns after a mammoth 2015 with millions of fans, he gets little to no hype. But instead, when a 1.5 minute song of Carti's gets leaked/released by ASAP Ills, it reaches over 20 pages on Kanye Tevee, the front page of Hip Hop Heads, a placement of Worldstarhiphop, and has Carti fans buzzing all around the world. All without an official post or even a mention of the song by Carti himself. This leaked song I am talking about, Red Lean, currently sits at 400k plays on SoundCloud. Compare that to Fetty's tape, where the biggest song, with a feature from 21 Savage, one of the hottest in the game right now, is only at 152k plays. It's amazing how much of an audience Carti has, despite not releasing a project. Another recent example is the Murder Beats tape, with features from artists like Sway Lee, 2 Chainz, and Ty Dolla $ign. You'd expect those to be the biggest songs. Despite this, the song with the most plays is the one that features Playboi Carti. It is just bizarre. It is safe to say that Carti is an exception to the rule. Many artists try to achieve this rockstar image, but Carti projects this image so vastly different to anyone else. To the average late-teen hypebeast, Carti's attitude of, I don't give much of a fuck about anything that doesn't relate to fucking and getting high, represents and resonates with him in ways that other artists' actions and attitudes don't.
Chilling, bro. I haven't released a song since then. I don't do shit, bro.
because it is clear he really doesn't give a fuck at all. He can just go around fucking and getting high 24/7 whilst not dropping his debut project, which was meant to be released last year, and still be fine. Carti's music mysteriously pops up and travels like the wind, getting millions of plays whilst Carti doesn't even mention or promote it in the slightest. As the music comes and goes, his fans are teased and made that much more hungry as they endlessly tweeted him to drop anything, the fucking tape, or even a fucking song, like where the fuck is Tally and where the fuck is Tats on my neck. I mean, the dude has a fucking documentary out before a project. He just doesn't give a fuck. It is the combination of his don't give a fuck attitude, his persona, the way he handles himself publicly, and of course, great music that has led to Carti having one of the most dedicated fan bases out right now. Carti is like the girl who doesn't post half nude on Instagram, is a ghost on social media, responds late to your texts, and always ducks from you. You know she probably A, doesn't fuck with you, B, give a fuck about you, C, remember your name, and D, probably will never want you. But you keep going for her because it is her attitude that makes her that much better.
I mean, really, I'm out here for the bitches, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't do shit, bro.
Carti's music is a representation of that girl. What we have so far is so fucking good, and we want more, but he couldn't give a fuck about what we want. He's a fucking and getting high every night living his life. And we know that, but deep down we like to think he cares about us, has some master plan. So we continue the cycle of hyping up Carti to these unrealistic expectations in the hope that one day he will deliver the fucking tape. You dig?